12 quirky and interesting facts about the USA. 1. New York was once New Amsterdam. Before New York was, well, New York, it was called New Amsterdam as a settlement by the Dutch that chose to settle in Manhattan. The name, New York, only came into being later in the 17th century when those pesky English who captured it. The name, New York, was to pay tribute to Duke of York, who helped in capturing it. Today, you can still see plaques of where New Amsterdam's wall was built in 1653. Definitely an interesting fact, on Wall Street no less. 2. There's a palace made totally out of corn. Yup. You can actually visit a life-sized corn palace in the USA. It sounds like something legends are made of, but I assure you it's true. I couldn't quite believe it when I saw it in person. I mean, a palace you can potentially eat. Not sure it beats the other empty Rushmore in scale, but it certainly does with kernels. 3. The Statue of Liberty speaks French. Okay, but the Statue of Liberty was actually a gift from the people of France to the United States in 1886. Possibly the most iconic symbol of the United States, the Statue of Liberty is one iconic piece of history you have to see when in New York. 4. Alaska was once Russian. Back in the earlier parts of the 19th century, Alaska wasn't part of the USA. In fact, it was a part of Russia. It wasn't until it was sold off to the Americans that it became US territory. It wasn't until almost 100 years later, in 1959, that Alaska actually became a state. The state now has numerous national parks and even the tallest mountain in the USA, called Denali. 5. The Liberty Bell is from London. Possibly one of USA's most symbolic pieces from the American independence, the Liberty Bell still survives for us all to visit. Perched in the Liberty Bell Center in Pennsylvania, it's a spot where you can learn more about American independence and such interestingly and pretty unusual facts. The Liberty Bell was actually made in the same place as Big Ben in London. The Whitechapel Bell Foundry made both bells and is one of the oldest privately owned bell makers in the world. You can still visit the Whitechapel Bell Foundry today. Just make sure you get across the pond to London. 6. There's a shop inside a dinosaur's tummy. The dinosaurs of Cabazon were originally created to entice customers to a restaurant. Now, they've become a thing to see in their own right. These kitsch dinosaurs are a nostalgic throwback to the 1970s. Nowadays, you can still visit the dinosaurs and even shop within the tummy of Dinny the dinosaur. 7. The Golden Gate Bridge never stops getting a makeover. Interesting facts about San Francisco. Did you know that the Golden Gate Bridge is one of the West Coast's most iconic man-made landmarks that's forever been made over? It's one amazing place to see, especially from the Golden Gate Bridge Vista Point. Due to its sheer size, the bridge actually never stops getting painted and is always getting itself a little makeover for us all to enjoy. 8. London Bridge is in Arizona, and not London as many assume. Now, almost 200 years ago this was the case, but things change with time, don't they? By the 1960s city of Lake Havasu, Arizona was on the scout for a new bridge, and hearing that London Bridge was up for auction decided to put in a bid to bring it to their city. After all, who wouldn't want those iconic towers and opening arches? Right, wrong. That's Tower Bridge in London. It's purported that McCulloch, who bought the bridge, thought it was Tower Bridge, though this was totally denied by him. Whatever the case, London Bridge now sits happily in Arizona. Much less rain and fog for sure. 9. You can find lots of secret spots in New York. Places like City Hall Station are stunning, and although you can't always visit them, they do exist beneath the sidewalks. The whole city is awash with little nooks and alleys that are hidden in plain sight. 10. There are 43 giant presidential heads. Just scratch the surface of Kentucky and you'll come across some incredible natural sights to explore. For instance, the Mammoth Cave National Park actually has the longest cave system in the world and a place that's great to visit. 11. Hawaii is the only archipelago state. Hawaii is an incredibly beautiful volcanic archipelago consisting of numerous islands that each have their own charm. Interestingly, it's the only state that's solely made up of islands. 12. There's a Wigwam hotel to stay in. First created in 1950 Arizona, the Wigwam Hotel is a total nostalgic idea of quirky hotels from times gone by.